Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be talking about Absolute Wonder Woman issue 18, written by Kelly Thompson, with art by Hayden Sherman, colors by Jordie Bellaire, and letters by Becca Carey. Wonder Woman comes face to face with the Eternal Flame as the villain who was once Zatanna's father Giovanni burns her with his blood magic, assuring Diana that once he has burned her clean, who knows what fate might await her. Feeling the burn of the magical fire, Diana flees, having to get back to the Heron. But in her panic, she leaves Barbara Ann behind. Diana flies high into the sky, but the magic soon takes its toll, causing her to come crashing down into the ocean off the coast of Gateway City. The contrasting color here, thanks to Jordie Bellaire on Hayden Sherman's art, is fantastic. I love the cool green backgrounds with bright red and orange burning Wonder Woman in the foreground. Catches the eye really well, and Sherman's paneling makes it easy to follow the sequence. As the fire subsides and Diana cools off in the ocean, Pegasus comes to rescue her, taking her back to the Heron, where Ferdinand finds her. The blood magic still affects Diana's mind, burning it from within. Zatanna soon arrives at the Heron, revealing that she didn't intend for any of this to happen, coming to Diana's aid despite Ferdinand's protests. Zatanna unbinds herself from Diana's magic, giving it all back to Diana. Healed of the blood magic thanks to the return of her own magic, Diana immediately grabs Zatanna by the throat, preventing her from uttering any more spells. Sometime in the past in the Wild Isle, Aphrodite tells Diana of what love is and how complicated it can be. Diana knows that the god believes her love is the most powerful of all her gifts, but Aphrodite warns her that while it is, can destroy her just like it does with anyone else. The god is unsure how to prepare Diana for what this is, since she must stay open and compassionate, but doing so will leave her vulnerable. As always though, Diana sees the silver lining, thinking this could all be a good thing though, since normal humans are much more vulnerable to most things than she is, and maybe being vulnerable herself will allow her to understand the humans and their problem. I love all of these little flashbacks that Thompson peppers throughout the run, as it deepens Diana's character and fleshes out her morals, codes of honor, where that all stems from. She isn't just born like that, she is given that over the course of these flashbacks, and there is a little bit of like innate compassion and love from her, and it's just fueled by these powers that she gets. It gives such a better understanding of why she does it, and it's not some surface level, oh, she's a hero, so she has to be good. It's so much more than that. Aphrodite finds herself constantly amazed at how Diana sees the world, revealing that she must leave the young witch again. Diana soon awakens from the dream, finding Zatanna cured her of the blood magic in her system. Before Zatanna can say any more, Diana utters her own magical words, zapping Zatanna with green lightning. Zatanna hits back harder, striking Diana with a lightning bolt. As the thick smoke clears from the crater caused by the lightning strike, Zatanna finds Diana dodged the lightning, getting the jump on her and choking her out with her one good arm. Zatanna surprises even Diana, as it turns out she doesn't actually need to speak words to make magic, using sign language to phase through Diana and make her escape. Diana, however, is quick enough to grab Zatanna's leg when she becomes solid again, yeeting her high into the sky, but the witch summons wings, calling down more lightning on Wonder Woman before calling forth the water in the nearby pond, forcing it to drag Diana deep into its murky depth. Diana doing this whole fight with one hand behind her back and like keeping up with Zatanna is kind of a big flex. It's really cool seeing her go toe to toe with a fellow magician, just because Wonder Woman doesn't particularly use magic, at least not in the main universe, or not as we see it here. She has like magical tools like a lasso, like a sword or shield or some sort of armor, but I love Diana being actually able to just use spells and throw like those little like potion bombs that she has from her bag of holding. It's just so much more interesting and makes the character feel like they can do so much more than it's just, oh, she's big warrior woman who fights. It also means that this fight isn't just, you know, big explosions and punches, you know, throwing people through buildings or anything. It's just two witches trying to like one up each other every time they have to cast another spell. It's kind of set up like a D&D game where there's like the, you know, the phases or something where like, okay, they attack now, okay, they're out of, you know, action turns. Now it's Diana's turn and she's got the spell slots ready and she can attack with the spells and all that sort of stuff. I love how that's been sort of a constant theme throughout this book when it comes to the fight. As Diana falls deeper into the water in the pond, she summons the Trident of Poseidon, blasting Zatanna with the water and trapping her in a sphere of it, where she is unable to talk or sign. Diana ends up catching herself since she cannot understand why Zatanna has made her so angry, thinking maybe it's because she expects so much more from a witch. She has the Trident dump Zatanna out on the ground, telling Zatanna that she is an impressive witch, and lucky for her, she makes friends everywhere she goes. After recovering from the water, Zatanna tells her that that is why she is there, since she is aware of the cardinal sin of bonding another witch to her and wanting to apologize for that. Besides, she doesn't have many options left against Veronica Cale. See, this is the good stuff I like about this book. Diana just being open, passionate, allowing her to make friends out of enemies, and every interaction with an enemy isn't just them resulting in them being carted off to jail or thrown somewhere where they can't do any harm. She tries to make an effort to try and befriend them and try and make them see the error of their ways. It has been a real winning formula for Wonder Woman for me. Diana learns that Veronica Cale sent the Suicide Squad after her to kill her, but Zatanna didn't know how Cale would try and control them with parasites, and the only way not to hurt Diana was try and take her voice in advance. She apologizes for not thinking of something better, and besides, the Heron wards should have warned Diana that Zatanna didn't have any ill intent, since if she did, they wouldn't let anyone into the base who meant Wonder Woman or her friends any harm. Diana admits to being distracted by her veins being on fire, something Zatanna knows all about. Getting an explanation of the Heron's magical wards is cool. I like that it feels like a living organism that knows when someone is a friend or an enemy. It's kind of like the pre-check for Diana to determine who's coming to see her, and if she can reason with them or maybe have to handle them a bit more physically. Diana wants Zatanna to explain the blood magic she was attacked with, learning the Eternal Flame who attacked Diana was Giovanni Zatara, Zatanna's father, which surprises Diana, but she won't ask Zatanna to fight her own father, knowing all too well that love is complicated. Zatanna reveals that she won't in fact hurt her own father, but she is going to save him, having a few ideas that might even help Diana out, although she admits that's not her motivation for doing this. Diana appreciates her honesty, but she doesn't fully trust the witch just yet, at least not enough to use Zatanna's magic to get her arm back. Diana gets to work on a ritual of her own as Zatanna tells Ferdinand that Wonder Woman has high standards, although Ferd thinks Diana only demands from them what she is willing to give herself, making Zatanna believe that the Minotaur views Diana as a literal god. Diana not outrightly trusting Zatanna after what she did is a great move. I wouldn't have liked it if she immediately went, proper ally with Wonder Woman and they teamed up. That would feel kind of forced and kind of what we've been doing a little bit with some of the other villains as well. It's a smart idea to keep her at arm's length, and yeah, Zatanna probably is going to betray her again, or at least have her own selfish motivations. Something which she has said as much is true. She is kind of in it for herself, or wants to free her father and doesn't want any part in taking Cale down, because that's not what she is about. She just wants her father and wants to, bugger off somewhere else into the world where they can't get to her. After a loud lightning strike off in the forest, Diana emerges with her arm back and a fully kitted out set of armor, assuring Zatanna that she isn't going to try and kill Zatara, wishing her well on her quest to free him. Before she leaves, Zatanna warns her not to let Cale touch her, since she cursed the woman's hands and anything she touches dies instantly. Now that's a cool development, since I was wondering what the deal was with Cale's hands, since we saw them a couple of issues ago where she took them off and they looked dead and they looked very much cursed, and we didn't see exactly what did that to her, but she knows she has to wear gloves and everything, and I like that we found out that Zatanna actually cursed her hands. I thought that was pretty cool. It's interesting we have a hero who loves having connections with people, and we have a villain in Cale who literally cannot touch anyone, literally cannot have connections with anyone. I find that quite poetic. Zatanna heads back into Gateway City, finding Ara the Manfish Queen. She tells the villain that she brings her freedom, dumping a potion on her which causes her to vomit up the Starro parasite. Diana tells the queen that she freed some of her people from Cale's maze, last seeing them swimming north out of the Gateway City Bay. The queen thanks her, heading for the water, but not before revealing Giganta won't leave even if Diana frees her from the parasite, and she cannot be reasoned with. She also warns Diana not to trust Giovanni, since perhaps he can't be freed at all. I really hope we see Ara the Manfish Queen again, as well as her race again. I feel like that's kind of what it was set up for, them being freed out into the ocean, and now the queen is back. Kind of feels like we've got stuff setting up for maybe an absolute Aquaman, maybe to explore that. There's that inroads into exploring the ocean now with these manfish all swimming around the place now thanks to Wonder Woman freeing them, and hell, maybe that could be set up for that, where they cross over again and we are introduced to Arthur or whoever the absolute Aquaman of this world may be. Diana lets Ara leave before spotting Pegasus fighting the Eternal Flame. She sneaks towards Giovanni, having very few options to deal with magical users like him, since she doesn't even really understand what what his power is. She does know that he is willing to kill his own people to power his magic, and if he will do that, then he'll kill anyone. Giovanni unleashes his flames upon the people of Gateway City, claiming that they killed his daughter, so he will burn them all one by one. He believes Pegasus to be a demon, calling it down to fight him head on. So I think Cale has either told Giovanni that Wonder Woman killed his daughter, or she got him controlled with something that makes him believe Zatanna and his wife is dead and Earth is responsible, and maybe she is making him see things, like she calls Pegasus a demon. Maybe he sees Pegasus as a demon, or everything is a demon and they're the things that took his family and he needs to kill them to get them back, sort of thing. Since we know Astaro doesn't work, so there is some level of control over him, and I imagine we're going to dive into that as Wonder Woman tries to free him from that mind. Diana reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out Troika, asking her sisters to wait for her mother to protect her, and Hecate to guide her, since this particular lasso will leave her chained. She confronts Giovanni, telling the villain that the Troika is the blood of Scylla and the Man-Eater, blessed by Hecate herself. She says the Troika knows his secret and will break him, flinging the lasso at the villain. So we finally get to see more of Diana's many different lassos, with this one seemingly being very similar to that of her traditional one, the lasso of truth. It seems to compel a person tied into it to reveal their secrets or their truth. I assume it's going to let her get into Giovanni's mind and find out what's controlling him and help free him, and I can't wait to see that in action. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 18 was a real action-packed issue that surprisingly gave us a lot of information about Zatanna and her cursed father Zatara. And again, I'm really digging how much more magically orientated this Wonder Woman is compared to the main universe. She has her own magical tricks up her sleeve, and when it comes to fighting magical threats, you can fight them literally with her arm tied behind her back, or in this case, chopped off. The core of the story continues to be Diana's compassion for others and how that even affects the villains and how they view her and how she is able to influence them. Fantastic. There's big revelations coming for that. Feels great having a Wonder Woman book that's currently celebrating her heroics and who she is as a woman and how she helps the world out in her own way. It's fantastic, and I've loved every issue so far. It's been so much fun to read. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.